Unfortunately, MSD does not always adhere to their own standards.
I'm sorry, could you say it? MSD is not adhering to their own standards?
That is correct.
While your bills are rising, allegations today the local sewer utility is flushing a staggering amount of money right down the drain. Good evening, everyone. $500 million. That is how much money the Metropolitan Sewer District either overspent or is in line to, and that's according to Hamilton County's Utility Oversight Director.
MSD denies the charges. Local 12's Jeff Hirsch shows us how the battle could increase your sewer bill.
At today's meeting of the Hamilton County Commission, the sewage hit the fan.
A manhole sits in front of my house. When we have heavy rain, water and raw sewage shoot up 15 to 18 feet into the air from the sewer in the street in front of our house.
Robert Costa lives appropriately enough on a street called Muddy Creek.
We cannot use half our house because anything placed there becomes toxic after the next rain and flood.
MSD is under court order to rebuild the community's aging sewer lines, but the county's Utility Oversight Director says the sewer agency is overspending or misspending millions of dollars due to bad planning, or in the case of one consultant, for example, he said, questionable decision-making.
She hired her own firm to do an independent review of the model she had been overseeing for 4 years.
So let's step that back. So this consultant went out and hired another firm to validate. Her own firm. Okay.
To validate her
own findings.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't.
I can't make this up.
MSD officials strongly denied the allegations of bad planning and overspending and said there are simply occasions when plans have to change.
The weatherman on TV also uses a model, and we all know how often they are not correct. They use NASA's technology.
Well, the problem with that, sir, is that the weatherman's not getting paid by the ratepayers of Hamilton County.
Yeah.
And not paying in terms of millions and millions of dollars.
Commissioners approved new rules for MSD, giving the sewer agency less leeway to make decisions without coming back to the commission for approval. Meantime, Robert Costa wants MSD to buy his house. He can't sell it to anyone else.
My basement is being used as storage for raw sewage and human waste.
Hamilton County owns the Metropolitan Sewer District, but it's operated by the city of Cincinnati. There's been lots of finger-pointing between the two governments over MSD's problems. Sewer district spending will also be the subject of a special audit by Ohio Auditor Dave Yost. Back to you.
Sounds like a long time before it gets fixed. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah, I think you got to think long-term for this. I mean, you're talking about a humongous fix, lots of stuff, and now all this finger-pointing, which can't help.
Yeah. Jeff, thanks very much. Sewer rates for the average MSD customer more than doubled over the past decade. A lot of you already know that. About $900 a year. Most of that increase is fueled by $4 billion worth of court-required improvements to prevent the kind of overflow problems you just heard about.